Have y'all seen the Civil War taking place? All right. If you haven't heard, that's fine. That just means you live in a functional life because what I'm talking about happened on Twitter. Elon Musk came through and was like, hey, we actually really need in America H-1B visas. And these H-1B visas are how people from other countries come here and have, pretty great jobs by some standards. These are like sometimes developing jobs, some of the engineering jobs, and like just stuff of that nature. This isn't like one of your regular visas, and it's not like a visa that we have with a specific country. Like there are E3 visas that we have with places like Australia because they're white. And that's a thing that we have with lots of different countries. So there's a certain amount of visas that are agreements between the countries, and we don't have it with every single country in the world, but even with Uganda, we might have a few that are these specific visas that Ugandans can get or something, as an example, right? But the H-1Bs have a lot to do with jobs because with your H-1B visa, if you lose your job, right, you have to leave. But Elon is like, these H-1Bs are actually great. And Vivek Ramaswamy is also like, these H-1Bs are fantastic, right? Now, the reason that billionaires like H-1B visas is because people who are very talented from other countries will come, and they're usually, not always, but a lot of times are sending money back to their home country for their family, right? And so they, due to the exchange rate, don't really have the same amount of demands as an American worker. Like an American worker, $100,000, it means something different here than it means to someone coming here, right? $100,000, you might still be like, okay, I'll have a place to live, but I won't be able to do much. I can't take a vacation. If I get hurt, I'm immediately going to go into medical debt because I don't have insurance. Like $100,000 is a lot of money, but you're still thinking about how you're going to move through life as an American, right? But if you're coming from somewhere, especially if you're coming from somewhere where this is the biggest opportunity you've had up until this point, you're thinking $100,000. Okay, look, I can have roommates. I don't care about having roommates. I'll have as many roommates as it takes to keep as much of that $100,000 after taxes that I'm going to keep in my pocket, so that way I can send money home. And the money that I send home due to the exchange rate is fantastic, right? So now I can maybe even retire my parents off of this $100,000, $120,000 job back where I'm from. So when they come over here, they are working these like crazy hours. Like we're talking like 80-hour work weeks, fluctuations, and what the job description is and stuff like that. And they don't complain, because if they complain, they could be fired. And if they get fired, they're immediately deported. They start all over again, right? So that's why Elon and Vivek love H-1B visas. So MAGA as a movement is very upset with this sort of thing, because the whole idea of Trump winning and Elon and Vivek making that Department of Government Efficiency, which is only named that so that it will be called Doge, which is low-key one of the most unserious things I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, that was when I was like, oh yeah, we're cooked. That's very bad. Y'all, if you had gone back 20 years and told somebody that eventually there would be someone, I mean, these are like made up jobs. Like Trump would actually have to do what they say to make them official. Right now, they don't even really exist in theory, right? It's just an idea of what might happen. I mean, who knows now? But like, if you went back 20 years and you told someone eventually there would be a government body that only had its name so it could be the acronym CAKE, I'm sure that person 20 years ago would ask, when did all the smart people die? And so, and so, and so, Vivek tweets and Elon tweets, and everyone, I don't know, is so mad. Okay, so basically, MAGA sees the H-1B visas as like taking American jobs, and not in a Mexican immigrant way. Not in the way of like, they're coming over here and they're selling fruit. I didn't really want to sell fruit anyway, but like they're selling the fruit. I don't know how I feel about that. It's not like that. It's like, no, LinkedIn is empty. And you're talking about H-1Bs coming over here and getting the jobs that I went to college for. And then Elon basically said, hey, y'all way too stupid to do these jobs, which is so out of pocket. That's so crazy. That, in a weird way, this whole ordeal almost made me feel kind of bad for MAGA as a movement, because when you think about it, a lot of why MAGA started is because, you know, whether you want to put them in quotations as elites or like coastal elites or just people with money, those people for a long time, and this is something that I don't like, that I've seen for a long time, because it's a city rule thing that we do to each other a lot, where there are a lot of city people that look down on like rural people in a rural lifestyle, because they're like, oh, you're not educated. But then the people in the rural areas look at city people and they're like, you actually can't keep yourself alive. Do you know what I mean? Like you I know you've read more than me, but like, how do you... Where does water come from? Tell me where water comes from. Oh, the bottle? Oh, okay. Oh, it comes from a bottle. That's cute. All right. You know, because don't get me wrong, as well-educated city people who I've been around, I've lived in lots of different places, and I travel around the country as often as I can, so I do my best to meet everyone so I can understand. I want to have as many pieces of the puzzle as I can to see where people are coming from, how we get places, right? And when I tell you that there are people who I know are very smart, very, very intelligent people, very smart people, but when you tell them that water comes from the ground, they look at you like, well, you must be drinking dirty water, because not my Icelandic, no. Guys, yeah. So Elon basically says y'all are like way too dumb to do these jobs. Like, I've seen your American schools, I've seen your colleges, and your colleges don't even match other countries' high schools. And the sort of general MAGA response to that was like, well, okay, but you agreed with us for the past like 4 or 5 years that the American college system was broken and that it's too woke and that we need to fix it and we need to change things up. And he was like, yeah, but you still dumb. Like that doesn't change. I don't think Yeah, I don't like it either, but that doesn't make you smarter that you went to a dumb school. And so then they lose it. And then MAGA was like, oh, okay, I didn't know you felt that way, you South African. It's hard to find a whiter man than Elon Musk. Like no, I mean like literally and figuratively in a sense, because he's very. Oof. You know what I mean? Like the sun, not a friend, right? But the way they were calling that dude African, just You ever? Because they're like African, but then I'm an African American, and I've never had racism miss me like the Matrix. That like nearly broke my brain. But they were like, "You African," and I was reading it like, "Oh yeah, that no, geez. Wow, okay, all right." Elon has the most money in the world, the richest man in the world, and this is how you know that the path to riches is a dead end. Because this man has always had money, and he has more money than anybody. And he plays with different people. Sometimes he's number 2 for like a day. Sometimes he's number 1 for a week. But he's richest man in the world, is safe to say, right? I'm sure somebody can pull me up 4 months from now and be like, actually, this other person. It's like, yeah, for 20 minutes. But like, it's richest person in the world, and he's still deeply, deeply missing everything about what a joyous life is. He's the richest person in the world, right? But out of all of that money that he has, all of the money he has, yet he has almost all the money that he has, right? He has a cartoonish amount of money, all the money that he has. He wants nothing more. I can tell you this right now, just from watching his moves, just from watching him talk, just from watching how he's interacted, even in this little spat that he's having. I'm not saying that this is the end of MAGA or something, or that the Republican Party's gonna fall apart. I'm saying that just this glimpse, this dude has all of the money in the world. He can have anything that he wants except acceptance, except like actually being in a room and knowing that everyone wants him in that room. He cannot buy being cool. He cannot buy genuineness. There are always going to be people who love Elon or think Elon's dope because they think that he's a genius, because they think that he is going to help them become like him, or just because he has money. But then when you strip all of that away, I don't know Elon, and I don't necessarily care for much of what he does, but I know a person hurting when I see it. Do you know what I mean? I know like a hurt individual when I see it. And this dude has not stopped tweeting since they call him a South African, since it happened. They have been coming for this dude's neck nonstop. And it's like sometimes I don't know. Sometimes you see something, you're like, oh, that's a lot. You know what I mean? I'll tell you how I feel about what's happening to Elon right now. And all right. This may just be me, but there's a video online of this guy. This is right when the Popeyes chicken sandwich dropped, okay? And if you remember that was a time to be alive. You would think that Popeyes didn't serve chicken. You would think that something revolutionary was happening because they took the chicken that they already sell and they put 2 buns on either side of that chicken. People ready to fight over this chicken sandwich, and they were running out, not of chicken, of the sandwich, which means they were only running out of bread. And people were losing their minds over it. They could not. What do you mean you want chicken sandwiches? I waited in this line for 5 hours to get this chicken sandwich just to bite a piece of chicken and with bread on either side of it. I've been waiting all day to have this chicken sandwich. Meanwhile, Chick-fil-A was next door being like, y'all, we hear all the time. It's like, nobody wants that right now. I want the Popeyes chicken sandwich. And so there's a video where this guy is, I believe he's in Georgia. He might be in Atlanta, which also makes this thing very poor judgment. But this dude is in Atlanta. He's a white dude, right? And everyone else in the Popeyes is black. And I don't know how long he's been waiting. I don't know why he's so mad, but he's stomping around, right? And he's stomping around and getting in people's faces and stuff. He's like, "Where's my sandwich?" And then finally he goes up to somebody. He's like, "Get out of my way now!" And like it's just going back and forth, right? And then finally his sandwich is ready. He snatches the sandwich. He's like, "Give it to me!" And then he pushes somebody out of the way. And the person filming him is just like, "Oh no." Fast forward like 5 seconds, maybe 10. He's in the parking lot, sort of folded up. Because somebody beat his ass. Because, you know, yeah. And so then, and not only are they beating his ass, but he's clearly folded up and sitting down now, and they've still put a hand on his shoulder just to create leverage and are like uppercutting him a couple times, right? And so then after like the second or third uppercut, they walk off with his bag, and the person filming goes, "Oh, y'all ain't gotta take his sandwich though." Which is weirdly, I don't know, which is a very short, but a very poignant, like lesson about racism, or at least how people who experience racism treat the people who are racist towards them, right? Because even in this hateful thing, there's this line that's like, "Oh, okay, but that was enough." Do you know what I mean? And so when there are people who rarely or never experience racism, and it's a new feeling, it's a new type of anger, it's a new type of hurt, they're not gonna know what's enough because they're not practiced in what it feels like to find a level with it. Do you know what I mean? There are things that happen in the world, and they're sick and they're racist, and then it's not something that you can always change or resolve, but you have to move on with your life. You have to live, you know? So you can fight back as best as you can, and you can distance yourself as best you can, create safety as best you can, but that will be out there. So when like someone who is not used to the practice of dealing with that thing feels it for the first time, nothing will ever be enough. And so because nothing is enough, they went after Elon in a way where I was like, "Oh, y'all ain't got to do all that." Because they hurt Elon feeling so bad that this dude went on a burner account on Twitter and join Space. If you don't know what Spaces are, it's where you can talk. It's literally just like this chat room, this like audio chat room where everybody can talk, or just the moderator can talk or whatever. And he went in this audio chat room with a voice modulator and started defending himself with the voice modulator, being like, actually, like Elon, like a good person and stuff, like. Y'all actually being hella out of pocket when it comes to Elon. That's not fair at all what y'all said. And you especially were very rude. And I would say it'd be helpful if y'all would like apologize to Elon, because I don't know him at all, but he seems like a reasonable dude. So if y'all like would chill out, I'm sure he would forgive you and stuff. Like he a cool guy. And I don't know what was said. I do not know what happened. But something was said that was so, I'm assuming, hateful or out of pocket or just wrong, that I don't know how this happened. All I know is Elon apparently, because this is all hearsay. I watched the thing and I'm 90% sure it's real, but like, apparently this dude got so mad he either got his mouth too far from the voice modulator or turned it off, because then this dude in his full Elon voice was like, "Wait, watch who you talking to right now." But like, he like fully dropped it. He was like, "Well, forget y'all too then. I hate everybody in here." Y'all can all go to hell. Because then Vivek also tweets one of the oddest. First of all, it's too long. This is another thing that happened because as soon as they took that like 150 character sort of like thing off of Twitter and it kind of killed the thread of Twitter because the thread was how you knew you were telling a good story. Like the thread, I've read threads that were 220 parts. Because every part, there was no fat on that story. The whole thing is so insane. And every 140 characters keeps you hooked for the next 140 characters. I've read Twitter threads that should be movies, right? Because you had to use an economy of word. You had to actually be a writer to convey your ideas, and you did it in the long... I was scrolling for the entire afternoon. And even when I got to the end, I was like, damn. And now, you can just do the whole thing. So then Vivek does this whole thing, and he's like, basically, if America wants to win, and if Americans want to win, and by the way, when I say Americans for a little while here, when I say Americans, there's a subtext for everyone talking that they mean white Americans. just so you know, because sometimes people say Americans, and then well-meaning people go, no, we're all... And I'm like, all right. So Vivek is like, if Americans want to win, then, it comes down to culture. And right now, your culture is trash. It's basically... It's basically a bunch of jocks looking at people who read like they're the dumb ones, even though the jocks are the dumb ones. And we're obsessed with pretty stuff, shiny stuff and everything. And if you pick up some books and if you do a little less, like Instagram, whatever you do, maybe you'll be worth hiring. That's at least how it sounded. And I was not that pressed about the whole Vivek thing. One, because I knew he wasn't talking to me. And two, because I've heard this sort of thing my entire life. No one is more used to this type of condescension than black people. You know what I mean? Because with black people, we're the ones where we're like, hey, I did all the stuff you said to do. I went to the right school, actually got a scholarship. I did the internship, and I am passionate about this field. Can I get a job? And they're like, ah. We already have a black. We already have a black. His name is Mike, because he tricked us. We already have a... Look, we would hire you. But the boss's dumbest cousin needs a job, and so we're going to have to give it to him. But, I don't know, keep applying, and then maybe if Mike dies... we'll need a black, so then you can do it. Do you know what I mean? Like that's just a general reality. And so to hear Vivek talk to white people like this was wild. That was so apart because then the comments were all like, but I did all the stuff, and he's like, yeah, no, I know. But you're dumb. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I would never hire you, And he doesn't say that. He doesn't say that exactly, but that's what he implies throughout the whole thing. And then he stops responding because it's thousands of people. But I don't know. There were so many people that came out and they were like, look, the whole reason that we joined this MAGA movement, the whole reason that we thought Trump being in office was a good thing is because it would mean more good jobs for Americans. And look, if you genuinely believed that, then I don't. You know what I mean? No, I'm not being a dick. I'm saying if you If you genuinely believe that, then like, that's bad. You know how... This happened, this thing happened, and I really... I worry sometimes. I think about this a lot, and I think about this with every like topic that I talk about, or any joke I tell, or story I decide to talk about. That like, I would like to believe that like, I would like to believe that empathy, compassion, and kindness are the way forward and will get us somewhere. I don't know if that's true. I want that to be true. I think if you make your obsessions community, culture, connection, and compassion, then I think that there's a way forward. You know, I don't know if that is right. It might be incorrect. It's what I've chosen my best to do, and I'm human, so I'm probably gonna mess it up a lot. But one thing that happens in my mind, what I think of when I think of MAGA, is a story from when I was just getting out of high school. It might have even been my first year of college. No. It was like my second year of college, right? And I was getting off a shift at this restaurant that I worked at, and my friends were picking me up. And when they picked me up, we would hang out on the weekend, you know, all the times that I was back at home, which is where the restaurant that I would work for extra money was. So I would leave college, I'd come back home, work a shift, and then spend the weekend with my friends. And that particular day when they picked me up, I knew I was spending the night at one of their houses. But when they picked me up, they're like, hey, I live in Alexandria at the time. They're like, hey, we're going to, I think we went to Opelousas or Leesville or something, which is like an hour and a half away or a couple hours away. And when I get in the car, they say this. And I'm like, why are we going to Leesville? And my buddy's like, it's a surprise, right? And so then we get all the way over there. Now, my second friend in the car is about to go away to seminary. So I went to a Catholic school for high school, and you know, I actually like treasure it as an experience, not because of any sort of like religious teaching, but because it gave me a little bit more insight into how people think and how the people around me thought about me and about the world, right? But then there were some people that went to the school that were like, yeah, we'll do this forever. And he was one of them. He was like, I'll just be a priest, because that was his track, right? And so then we get to where we're going, and it's a strip club. And so my one buddy had decided that because our second friend was about to go be a priest, he should at least see titty, just to be sure. Just in case. That he should see what they, you know, that they round and beautiful and so. And so then, you know, we go inside, and I'm okay. I'm also like taking a back. Like my friend that's going to seminary is like, actually, I guess I'm going to hell, because he's looking around. He's like, right? I'm just generally slightly uncomfortable because it took me. I was like a late bloomer, sort of like accepting myself and like accepting my. I guess the way I come off to people and stuff. And so I'm still like this awkward, tight, you know, as soon as I walk in, right? I'm nervous, and he's nervous for like different reasons. He's like, you know what I mean? And so then our buddy who took us, who was driving, buys my friend who's going to seminary lap dance. And so it's not just any lap dance. It's a lap dance in the private room. And so I was like, you gonna give that boy a heart attack, and then he gonna die, and then he gonna be there, and then be like, look, I did everything right, but I will say I did die at a strip club. That shouldn't even be on me because I didn't know we were going there. But she started rubbing up on me, and it was too perfect. I thought it was one of your angels, all right? And so then I got excited, and then my left arm started to hurt a little bit, and now I'm here. But that shouldn't even be on me, okay? I didn't drive myself. I didn't do it. And so then, he goes private room, lap dance, and he comes out of the room, a new man. The dude comes out of the room. I don't know what happened in the room. I'm assuming dancing, but this dude walks out of the room like he had to do all the dancing. He walked out the room disheveled. And he goes up to our friend and he's like, do you have money for one more dance? My friend pays for another dance and he goes back. And, while he's in the room, I had my own journey. Because I was at the strip club and I was just sipping on a Sprite because this is back when I still drank soda. I had to quit. It's too spicy. It generally burns my chest. Like it's too much, right? But back in the day, I would hit a Sprite, and so I was sipping all this Sprite, and this one dancer walks by, and she does this thing where she basically like massages the back of my neck as she's walking by. But I am not used to being in strip clubs. I'm also not used to people coming on to me, so I thought it was a spider. So And so I thought it was a spider, so I started swinging. And I didn't hit anything, but I still was like... And then later, another dancer came over and she sat across from me. She was like, hey, how you doing? I was like, I'm good. She said, what's your name? I was like, I'm Josh. And she's like, what brought you in today? I was like, oh, my friend, he's gonna go to seminary. And so we brought him here. To make sure. I don't really know what the plan is. And she's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's a funny story. You're funny. And I was like, I didn't say anything funny. And he's like, oh, well, you're kind of cute. And I was like, oh, thank you. So you want to buy me a drink? And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. Do you want a Sprite? I'm drinking a Sprite. And then she smiled, very sweet smile, and then she got up and pushed her chair in and walked over to some of the other dancers. And she was, I don't know if she knew I could hear her. There was music playing, so I know she was yelling it to let them know, but I was still within earshot when she said, she gets up and she goes to the other lady. She's like, oh, y'all, don't worry. He's slow. Don't. And so then our friend who's going to seminary comes out after the second dance, and whatever happened the first time happened worse the second time, because now he like walking out, but he's sort of holding his arm too, and he's like, do you have money for one more dance? Our buddy gives him money, and he goes in there, and I'm sitting with my buddy who brought him, and he's the only one out of all of us who's like chill in this situation. And like I don't know if he was like a cool guy anyway, but maybe he had just been to strip clubs before, but he was just not fazed. He was just like, oh, I'll get you a drink, yeah. And then our buddy comes out, of the private dance room, and honestly, nothing working. I was worried that he had lost his sight, because he walked out like, do you? And our friend says, I'm sorry, man, but that's all the money that I had. It's probably best that we head home now anyway. And we get in the car. We're headed back. And it's not that long before. It's not like silent. We play a little music and stuff, but nobody's really talking. And then finally, our buddy that's going breaks the silence, and he's like, I don't know if I can go to seminary. In that moment, I had my own dilemma, because I was like, does that shouldn't land on me though. Like I shouldn't. That shouldn't be any of my hell though, because we technically broke he was a pre-priest, but like there's gonna not be a priest now because of what happened tonight. But that's not on me, because I didn't drive us here, and I didn't have a ride. So then and Uber wasn't a thing yet, so I couldn't have gone. And it would have been too expensive anyway, so I was just along for the ride, and now I'm in here, and then he talking about he not gonna... And then he's like, yeah, I don't know, I might have to think about it, because, I think Cherry loves me. And I think I love her too. And so when I think about MAGA, it feels like they love this dude, and he thinks, oh, I have their love, I'm good. And they think we love him and he loves us. But he's just up there dancing. And don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. He is good at dancing. He is. Like when you watch him dance, you're like, that was at least funny, or it was like, oh, it's so weird. But no matter what, no matter how he dances, everybody talks about it. You know? And I think that with Vivek and with Elon, you know, they're real businessmen. And so they think about their business and how to improve it, how to make more money, how to make sure that they have people that aren't going to unionize, aren't going to stir up trouble or anything. And MAGA is genuinely in this place. You don't get to MAGA in a vacuum, you know? Yeah, I mean, I think there's a general social contract and understanding of what America is supposed to be for Americans, and the differences that we have, the way that we butt heads is the interpretation of that contract, right? For some people, that contract is just the Constitution, and they actually like live by it. They're actually like, no, it says this, so we should do this, right? And that's one way to take it. That's fine. And then there are people like me. There are people that at any point in American history have been deemed different or other, that see the contract as something that you might get by happenstance of having money, but is not going to be given to you outright. And then there are white Americans who believe in the contract, and they believe a part of the promise that's like unspoken, which is all of this, you'll have access to all of it. All of this is yours by virtue of you following the rules and doing what you're supposed to do, because this is your country. And so when Elon and Vivek, who are not the right white, do you know what I mean? Because when Elon crossed MAGA, he became a South African real quick. Like that was. And Vivek, I don't know, y'all, bro, you were never in. Like you were never. But when they made these points, and when they gave a lot of that movement what is genuinely some of the hard truth, it's like, all right, if you think college is broken and woke and whatever, if that really is your opinion that you hold, then you do your best to change the thing. You don't throw the thing out. You don't go, guys, I don't like gender studies, so now math is also gay. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you don't like gender studies, then don't major in gender studies. Like that's a quick and easy path to not have to deal with gender studies. This should just be like, I will just do the And so I don't know how the war is going to end. You know what I mean? I don't, because it's weird. I thought this would take at least until February. Y'all have been phenomenal. Thank you so much. Y'all have a great night. I appreciate you. It still sort of blows my mind. I can't believe it, if I'm being honest. I can't believe that they agreed to do it. Like, both of them agreed to. Like, Trump and Biden are going to debate. They both agreed to debate. This was crazy about them debating. We know how we feel. Like, it's weird that both of them were like, you know what'll do it? You know what'll lock it up? If I talk one more time. That's what the people want, you know what I mean? They want to see me at the booth. That's what... No, it feels crazy. There will be... I can only tell you this. It's months away, I'm sure. But whenever it happens, the only loser will be us. We will... Both those dudes are going to talk and interrupt. It's going to be a hell show. And then everyone's going to walk away like their dude won. And I do my best to be honest with you and be honest with myself. It does make me nervous, and I think everybody's nervous. I think all parties involved are nervous. You know, I'm nervous for Biden to debate because I'm nervous when Biden talks. Don't be like that, you know. You know what I mean? Like, I think this is the best way I can relate it. Because Biden starts sentences ambitious. The way I relate to how Biden talks is when I first moved to Chicago, right? I didn't have much. And I moved, and I really wanted to clear my head because I was overwhelmed with the move, right? And I was like young, but I was still scared. I didn't feel like I knew enough people to really have like a support system or anything. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna learn the area. I'm just gonna go for a walk, and without my phone. I don't want to be in my phone. I want to learn the neighborhood. I'm gonna go for a walk. I'm gonna clear my head. So then I left my phone at the apartment, and I just went for a walk, and it felt good. It felt genuinely great to just not have people texting me, not be getting notifications on my phone, not get distracted from anything by my phone, and just look at what a beautiful city I had just moved to. And the weather was nice. Y'all would have appreciated it. It was very sunny. All the white people were smiling at me. It was, you know, black people too, but just there's a certain, I don't know. And, you know, after a while, you know, 10, 20 minutes, I don't know, I didn't have my phone. So I don't know how much time had passed, but I got to the point where I was like, all right, I'm feeling good, I feel better, let's go back. And I turned around and I was like, uh-oh. Because I had just moved to a new city, and I knew my address, but I didn't know much else. I don't know how many lefts I took, like I was just sort of following the sunlight. I was letting them lead me, and then, you know, now I'm like, uh-oh. And so it took quite a while. It took a much longer walk than I anticipated for me to get back home, and that's what every sentence Biden says feels like. It feels like... Because you can see when he start, he ready. When those first two words in, it's like when somebody try to run and they can't really run, because it's like he start off hard, and then by the middle... You can see in his eyes, he's like, oh, where was I? And then by the end of the sentence, he's like, I think I stuck it. You know, so I'm nervous for Biden to talk. And I know Trump's team is nervous for him to talk. Not just because this debate is going to have certain stipulations, like they're going to cut his mic if he goes over time. There's all this stuff. I think that genuinely Trump's team is like, he's finally going to say it. We've managed to go 9 years without him saying it, but he gonna slip. He gonna say it. I don't think it'll even be in like reference to black people. He just gonna say it. But he gonna be talking about fruit or something, like even racist people will be like, huh. That's not how I use it. He's so creative. I will say, you know, people go on and on about Trump being racist. That man is way more weird than he is racist. Trump's racism is like here. His weirdness is top notch. Because, like, I got to watch a lot of the news. For work, I have to watch a ton of news. I have to watch not everything because it's not humanly possible, but I have to watch things over again. I have to go back. I've watched so many of his rallies, right? I've watched a ton of rallies. And he has a thing at his rallies where it feels like a wrestling match. I can understand why people enjoy going. I do. I get it. Because it's politics for sport. Like, you know when to boo, you know when to cheer. It's theater, right? And he is good at it. We'd be delusional to pretend that he's not good at it, right? But every once in a while, even he won't know what should be next. Like, I was watching this rally where I think he was going on like immigration, then he was going on like finances and Wall Street and stuff, and then out of nowhere he just started talking about the water pressure in America. And you could tell people who had just been cheering were like, yeah, oh yeah, I guess. Nah, I mean, he's not wrong. I have felt that too. Like, I felt like this man was railing about immigration, and out of nowhere, he's like, there's no like the shower don't hit. The toilets don't flush when you want them to flush. It take 3 flushes. This man literally was like, it take 3 flushes. What are we doing, people? The washing machine doesn't get the stains out. Like, it really was like this political thing that quickly turned into like how his day was going. And honestly, it's the most relatable he's ever been to me. Because I was like, nah, he not wrong. Sometimes when you at a hotel, it does drip on you. And you're like, nah, I need power. I need that masseuse setting in the shower. Yeah. This has bothered me for a long time. And I know nobody cares because it's like barely topical anymore. But there's a case against Trump, one of many, right? There's a case against Trump with the classified documents. Now, a lot of people say that it's going to get thrown out. A lot of these are probably going to get thrown out, right? But the classified documents case, I don't have proof. I like to think I'm not like a conspiracy theorist or anything, but for real, I don't have proof. So what I'm telling you is me just talking to y'all because we're friends, okay? So I'm just telling you what I think. I'm not telling you that like the prosecutor can even pull him up on this. I'm just saying that this is what I think, right? So the classified document, he basically, in case you don't know, took a lot of documents with him when he left the White House, right? And they went to Mar-a-Lago and retrieved a bunch of them. And they were in all sorts of different rooms. Like, they were in the closet. Some of them were in the bathroom. There's all this stuff like that. Now, the speech that he gave, the rally he gave that I was talking about before, was towards the end of his presidency. And I think this is what I think happened. He started bringing up the water pressure. I'm pretty sure he tried to flush documents that day. Before the rally, like they were like, Mr. President, we have to go. Like, we have to go. We're gonna be late. And he's like, he read something that didn't seem good. Everybody jokes he can't read. The man can read. He probably read it and was like, this one. And then he flush it, and because it's printer paper, it doesn't go down like toilet tissue. So then after the third flush, it's not going down. He's like, this country is doomed. All right, this should have been gone down. And so then when they went to Mar-a-Lago and there were all the documents stocked up to the ceiling in the bathroom, people were like, why were there documents in the bathroom? I think that those were unflushed documents. I think that I don't have any proof of what I'm saying. Take it all with a grain of salt. We're here to have fun. But no, I do think Trump's team is a bit nervous because the agreement for the debate had like very specific stipulations that like some people were saying were fair, some people were saying were deeply unfair and everything, but a lot of it just doesn't play to what Trump is good at. You know what I mean? Trump is good with a crowd, and they didn't want to have a crowd, stuff like that. And I don't know. As much as I, pick on Biden about talking, Trump has his stuff too. Like, I remember that time he tried to say origins. In case you haven't seen the clip, it's phenomenal. Basically, it's rough, because I'm not even kidding, I'm being real with y'all for a second. I did feel bad for him in that moment, because you can tell he know the word. You can tell he's trying to say orange, or he's trying to say origins, and he keeps saying oranges. But he doesn't mean to. It's like when you keep texting the same auto-corrected word and you don't mean to, you know what I mean? Like your friend texts you something crazy and you try to text back like, fuck, and then you end up texting back duck, and then you text duck again. And then you text duck one more time. And then you get upset, so you just text damn it. Like, that's... Because he knew the word. He really did. He was like, you know, the oranges of it. And you can tell he got a little embarrassed, because he know he on TV and everything, and so he tries to back up. He's like, you know, the oranges. The oranges. It was like watching somebody with their phone, but in his mouth. He was like... And I was also like, he need to tell his mouth to act right, because I can tell his brain knows the word. Because he kept saying oranges. He's like, you know, the oranges, the beginnings. Where it starts, the oranges, the You know, one thing I wish we would have got more of, because it was spectacular to watch, was a real, like, Trump versus DeSantis. We didn't really get it. You know what I mean? Like Trump just started smoking him off his like swag, and then DeSantis dropped out. But I want them to go. I want them to debate. That's what I want to see. That's what the world needs. Those two debating, getting at it, and not about policy or anything, because honestly, they both have shots for each other that would go harder than Kendrick and Drake. Like, Trump and DeSantis in a debate, all Trump has to do is, you know, do his thing. I'm the president you love, and whatever. And then DeSantis can just be like, well, I served in the military. Where were you? You know? There was one roast that Trump got in on DeSantis that was particularly spectacular. It was fire, right? Because everybody was making fun of DeSantis for wearing heels, because we couldn't tell if he was wearing heels or not, because he always was like, his height is weird. There's pictures where he's next to people and he's taller than them, and then there's pictures where he's next to other people who are the same height as the other people he was taller than, and he's the same height as them. So people were like, he's wearing platform shoes, he's got to be. And then Trump, ooh, it was cold. It's one of the coldest things I've seen him do in a long time. So Trump was explaining the shoes out of nowhere at a rally for no reason. Nobody said anything. He was talking about infrastructure. He was talking about how bad Biden is. And then out of nowhere, he was like, and have you seen DeSantis' shoes? They're weird. When he said they're weird, I paused, and I went and popped some popcorn, because I was like, he's about to light him up. And then this clip did not get passed around as much as it should have, but basically he was describing the shoe, and he was like, you can't tell it's a platform shoe because it's a heel inside. Like, Trump has trouble with the word origins, but he roasted this man so articulately. Like, just... He was like, no, there's a platform within the shoe, so it looks flat at the bottom, but up top, you know, he's on his tiptoes, and you can tell when he walks, I'm not even kidding, Trump did this, you can tell when he walks because he goes like this. Wow. That's my main thing with the debate, too. Biden versus Trump debating. Again, we didn't get anything out of the last one that they did, you know what I mean? And I just think, okay, I do think it would be funny if, remember, we're here to have fun. It would be funny to be cool. It would be funny to me if during the debate, one of them died. Like, that was, like, that's... I see some of y'all, no. We're here to have fun. We're here to have fun. Don't do that. No. Cut it out. You know that is because these are very old men. They're both so old they both used to be president. Like, yes. Do you know how old you have to used to be? The job you don't get until you're 70? That would be very funny if mid-debate one of them just tip and die. And then the other one's like, I rest my case. Do y'all already know about Christie Noem? Like, is this... Okay, if you don't know, she's a politician for now. She's in South Dakota, and she has blown up. I mean, I'm technically late to the story. Like, she blew up on the news and every platform because everyone thought that she was like the front runner to be Trump's VP pick, and she released a book, you know, to just capitalize on that possibility. Was releasing a book around now, and in the book she tells a story about shooting her puppy. I know. And when I first heard about it, because I heard about it before I read about it, when I first heard about it, I was like, nobody's that dumb to just volunteer a story about them doing the one thing that'll bum everybody out across America, no matter what. Yeah, I mean, like, and she's telling the story, and she relays the story like a war story or something. And basically, she shot the dog, and then after she shot the dog, she was walking back to her house. I guess very proud of herself. And then she saw her goat, and she was like, I might as well. You know, because I got more than one bullet in the... And then she kills her goat. And then she told everyone. And I feel like there's a whole thing of politicians being out of touch, right? Like, you know, like sometimes you'll hear about a politician saying something, doing something, you know. Like a good example is like the way that people were during the pandemic, how they would just be like, oh, well, now's the time to dip into our savings. It's like, what are you talking about, our, right? It's a very out-of-touch thing to say because you as a politician are very rich because every single one of them in Congress, usually at least, engages in some form of insider trading, and very few of them are trying to stop it, you know? So out of touch is one thing. Killing your dog and telling everybody about it. That sounds like somebody that wants to retire but doesn't know how. Like, you know what I mean? Like, political life's a bit much. But when I leave, I want to make sure they don't keep bugging me to come back, you know? I want to make sure when I'm gone, it's for good. Yeah. And she also... She keeps getting banned. There are a lot of reservations in South Dakota, and the leaders of each of these reservations keep voting and passing to ban her from stepping on the reservation, like ban her from the premises, which is like a good portion of the state. Like a lot of... I've never seen somebody get kicked out of outside. Like... You know what I mean? Because at a certain point, you just vote for them to get shot into space or something. Like, this is... Because I respect what the Native people were saying, because she was saying a lot about the reservation. She was saying that that's where all of the crime comes from, and that the cartels go through the reservation specifically. And they were like, not only do you not have proof of what you're saying, it's deeply offensive, and you shoot dogs. I don't want you anywhere around my children, my home, or anything. I feel like the only thing to do now is lock her in a room with Biden's dog. And like, just for them to talk. You know what I mean? Just so like, he could probably... He can probably get through to her better than a human can. Because we already tried talking it out. I feel very blessed to live in this time. I don't know if I lived in any other time if I would have made it. I don't say that in a self-deprecating way. I hear stories from my mom, stories from my grandparents, stories from just the past. I watch documentaries and I'm like, sounds rough. Yeah, I mean, and I'm from a rougher time than now, because the present is usually better than the past, and it gives you hope for the future. And everything. Like, I remember when text messages weren't unlimited. I remember when, what's crazy? Before text messages were unlimited, there would be a lot of time where I'd want to text somebody. Maybe they were going through something, maybe they were... and I want to text them, but I only had so many. And remember minutes? Remember phone minutes? Okay, if anybody in here is very young, okay, so this is a rough concept to explain, because it makes me sound like I'm from when the phone was invented. But for any of the younger people in here, just know that your cell phone, you making all these calls, your phones didn't used to be loose like that. Phones used to be much tighter, okay? Much stingier with time. They basically broke down your phone into minutes, and you had minutes that you could buy. They even broke down the day. Because at first, they charged you for minutes on minutes. Anytime you want to talk for an hour, it was this much. You want to talk for... And then eventually, when they realized how to support more phones, they were like, listen, it's 25 cents a minute on your little plan, but everything's free after 5. And back in the day, after 5 o'clock, people's phones would blow up. People would... As soon as it hit 5 o'clock, it's like, I've been waiting to tell you. Like, the amount of times that it was like after 5, and then I got a call that actually was an emergency that I should have been called about at 2, but they didn't want to mess up their plan. So then they were weighing how badly I needed to know. The amount of calls about death I got at 5 p.m. And I'd be like, why do you call me? What happened? He wouldn't be more or less dead if I waited. Why I gotta burn minutes to tell you something that's gonna be true in a couple hours? Oh, it was a terrible time. It was rough. It was really bad. And texting fell under minutes. And so different phone companies had different plans. So for some people, one text was, a quarter of a minute. One text was half a minute. Some people, if they were being very expensive, a text was a whole minute, right? So it could be a very short text. It could be, hey, that's a minute. Which always felt crazy to me as a kid, because I got my first cell phone later than my other friends, because I didn't have money like that. So I had to buy my own cell phone and support it myself with minutes. And I remember I sent a text and it said, hey, and it would tell you how many minutes had been deducted every time you did something. When you get off the phone, it would tell you like that was 4.5 minutes or whatever. And I remember I sent a text message that said, hey, and it said I used a minute. And I was like, no, that wasn't a minute, because hey is hey. Hey, those weren't a minute. That I said hey, I didn't say hey. How was that a minute? And there was nobody to argue with, because this is what killed me. Because sometimes when you try to call customer service to tell them they mess up your minutes and they deducting wrong and everything, it costs minutes to call them. So now I'm on the phone with them like, y'all need to hurry up and pick up, because it's minutes. Minutes are happening now. And do these minutes count? They're like, sir, these minutes count because you're on your phone. I'm like, no, but I'm talking to you about fixing my phone. They were like, yeah, but you're on your phone. I was like, oh, I think she's trying to keep me on the phone right now. I think she's trying to burn out all my minutes, because then she keep leaving and coming back and leaving and coming. What are you doing? Are you doing errands right now? Why can't you just continue the conversation and answer my question? So she got me burning through minutes. Anyway, text messaging used to sometimes be a whole minute for one text, right? And in a weird way, I wish we could go back to some form of limited text messages. We all get too much. We all get too many. Because this is the other problem with texting that I have now. Now that it's unlimited, people feel like you're obligated to them because they text you, because they feel like it's the same as talking. So as soon as they text you, it doesn't matter when they text you, as soon as they text you, that's like them being like, hey. But when you don't say anything for several hours, like if I said hey to you right now and you just stared at me, it'd be rude. It'd be rude. But you're also living your life. You're not obligated to say hey to me because I said hey to you. You're living your life, right? But then you'll text somebody, especially if it's important. You'll text somebody, and then you'll be like, all right, they'll text me when they get to it. I hope it's soon because this is important. And then maybe you're just on your phone. Maybe you open up Instagram or something, and then you see a new post, and then that new post is less than a minute old. I'm like, okay, that's after I text them, so they on their phone. They on their phone, and then most phones, a lot of those iPhones have that red thing that has red. I don't know why people are snitching on themselves like that. That's crazy. Because sometimes people tell me stuff in a text message I don't want to respond to. So then why would I put read by Josh at 6:03 and now it's 7:42 and they know I read it? And it was important. We need to go back. I don't know. Everything's always about more. Sometimes more is too much. What would our lives be like if there was a limit, a built-in limit, where you could only send? I'll give you even a wide margin, high ceiling. Let's say 200 text messages in a day. I don't think most people even hit that. 200? But if you live in a hectic life, you know what I mean? 200 is a pretty high ceiling. I had friends being like, no, 200's, that's way too low. And I was like, do you go to work? What do you mean low? What are y'all talking about? I think it should be like very low. I think it should be like 25. 25 feels reasonable to me, because now there are gonna be people who hit you up, who get your number. You don't even know they have a number. They hit you up, and you're like, I'm not gonna waste a text on a who is this? Because that's what I used to do during the minutes, right? you used to get a text, you don't know this number, you're like, who is this? Your phone's like, that was a minute. It's like, no, it wasn't a minute, though. That doesn't take that long to say, who is this? I just said, who is this? And they text me. Shouldn't it call? Every time you explain how tech used to work to a young person, I've said this before, but it just feels like the dark ages. Feels like it feels terrible. Like, they would also charge you if somebody texts you, and I'm like, that's not my fault. I can't control that over there. Because now you double dipping. It should charge the person who sent the text, and then the person, I'm just a listener. I'm a bystander. I wasted 5 minutes one time not knowing somebody. They were like, hey, how you doing? I was like, who is this? And they were like, it's Greg. I was like, I don't know a Greg. And then they were like, oh, sorry, wrong number. 5 minutes. What is my life? Charging me to open it like it's a secret every time. Your phone used to do that. It used to be a phone you could buy at the Dollar Tree, and then you put like 600 minutes on thinking, that's a lot. That's a lot. 600 minutes. That's crazy. I won't get through that. But then the way they rig it, they send a text message. It says it's from mom, because mom is saved in my contacts, right? But then, I'm like, damn, can I afford to open it? I'm on my last 3 minutes. Ooh, my last 3 minutes. And it just says mom, and it says unopened. So the phone is coming like, your mom texted you. You feel like knowing what it's about. What if it's an emergency? What if it's important? Go ahead and open it up. It'll just take a minute. I'm just not as strong as I'd like to be. You know what I mean? Like, there have definitely been things that needed to be picked up. How about this? Very few people in my life have ever asked me to help them move. That's how you know you come off a little anemic to your friends. You know what I mean? Because I actually have anemia. But like, my thing is, if you're in the throes of like being your absolute strong, maybe I've watched too many movies, but I've just want to have like one period in my life where like I walk past stuff and I think about picking it up without the injury that might occur. You know what I mean? There have been people, okay, as an example, I try to be helpful, right? And I was in New York, and I was on a subway, and I was getting up the stairs. I had already got off the train, right? And on the second, there were 3 rows of stairs, right? And on the second row of stairs was a young mom who had a stroller with a baby in it, right? So then I'm like, okay, she already got up the first one. I'm not just gonna assume that she needs help, but the fact that she's doing it by herself and the stroller is hitting every step, she's shaking the baby. Like, that's undeniable. Just bow, 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 right? And so then I'm walking up, and she looks like she's really contemplating how to do the second and third set of stairs, because I think she must also felt like that was a lot of shaking, right? And so then I walk up and I'm like, hey, would you like a little help up? And then she was like, oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And then I actually go down a couple stairs, you know, so I can like protect my back, lift with my legs and everything, and keep the baby at the right trajectory, because now the baby's still gonna be at an angle. He's not gonna be like this, and then... So then I grab the bottom of the stroller, and I go to pick it up,
And I put in the effort, but the baby doesn't move. And I cannot tell if the stroller is made of titanium or if this baby is secretly 12. Like, because this is what's so embarrassing about what's happening right now, is that I have two people, one of which doesn't have object permanence yet, but two people who know exactly what's going on. They know that I've now offered to help and I cannot help. Because as I'm really, like, did you ever see The Sword and the Stone? It was... Because my hams and my quads are wiggling. And so I've got the wiggle going. So I know I'm putting in the effort, right? And I even readjusted and put my foot on a different step. Because I was like, that's a bad step. I don't like that step. That's what it is. That step was too low. It wasn't doing my legs any justice. Let me get up another step. So then I put, but this is a worse position to be in, right? So now I'm lower. And now I'm wiggling. But the thing, okay, so I'm wiggling so hard, and then I look up a little bit, and the baby is like, and I never thought that being judged by a baby would help me access more glute use than I ever thought possible, because then I look up and the mom is also like, and so then I look past them because they are not helping me right now, and I finally lift it up a little bit, and I get maybe knee height, right? Which this is not comfortable to go upstairs with weight, okay? But I start pushing, and I get up one step, and get up another step. And I cannot believe that this mom did this by herself, because I'm like, this is with help. And so sure enough, climbing up, and maybe a quarter of the way on the second set of steps, I start to feel a pain. I shouldn't say a pain. I start to feel three pains. One was in my back, one was in my quad, and one was in my hamstring. And other people are passing us, because I wasn't the only one that got off the subway. And as we're passing by, this other guy was passing by, much bigger dude, but he was like, "Do y'all need help?" Which is devastating. You ever been a good Samaritan and needed a good Samaritan? It was terrible. So then I'm turning to him to be like, I'm about to answer, and then the mom is like, "Yes." And so then this dude, with one hand, moves my hand and starts to take up some of the slack, right? And in my head, I'm like, all right, it's gonna be the three of us together. And okay, all right. So this dude moves this hand with this hand, moves it out of the way, and so now I'm just pinching both my hands on this other part, but he really is keeping it level in a way that's devastating. And then he was like, it brightens my day to help out a young, beautiful couple like y'all. Which means that as he was walking up the steps and got level with me, he was sure I couldn't carry my own son. And so I'm holding this one, and he's holding this one with one hand, right? Other hand in his pocket. He chilling. And then almost immediately, this young Bob says, "Oh, we're not together." And in my head, I'm like, you couldn't fake. You couldn't save me the embarrassment for 17 more steps. We don't know this man. I don't know you. We're not together. And so then he goes, "Ooh, oh, okay. Well, we all try to make things work the best way possible." Now he thinks I am an absent father that isn't able to carry my own son. And so then she's like, "No, I don't know him." I was like, you really had to throw me under the bus right now. You couldn't just pretend to know me for 15 more steps. And then he goes, "Oh." And now he knows that I'm a stranger that can't pick up his not son. And I try to help people and everything, but this is too embarrassing. So after about the fourth step, I was like, "Hey, I'm late." Do you think you could? And then he was like, "Oh yeah." And then he, both hands, and I walked up the stairs by myself and then ran. When I got to the top, I did not want to be seen again. That was terrible. How are you gonna, we not together? No, I don't know him. How are you? I was trying to be helpful. But I was hurt, like my pride was hurt. And so then I went home and got online and Googled the weight of that stroller, because I was like, this thing has got to be like at least 100 pounds or something. Try and make myself feel better. Turns out it was all baby. That stroller is 8 pounds. I'm surprised it was holding the kid up. I was watching the news, because at first I saw it on the news and then it spilled over to social, so I was watching a lot of it. I saw where Tyreek Hill got stopped by the police, right? And I don't think he got arrested. I mean, he got detained for a bit, but he still made it to the game and did quite well. But the whole thing was pretty wild, and I made sure to watch like everything that got released, like the full body cam footage and everything, because I saw just so many people arguing about it online, right? And in case you didn't see it, basically Tyreek Hill, who's a football player, right? He is he's driving and gets pulled over, right? And anytime I'm on Twitter and I see like a video of a black dude getting pulled over, I'm like, well, it was a good day. I don't know what I'm about to see. And so, you see the body cam footage of the cop walking up after they pulled him over to Tyreek's window. And Tyreek is sitting there in the car and everything, and then the cop knocks on the window, and then Tyreek lowers his window, looks at the cop and goes, "Don't knock on my window like that," and then rolls the window back up. And as an African American audience member, I was like, uh-oh. And And you can tell, even the cop, you can't see his face because it's his body cam, but you can tell he's like, what? What just happened? So then he knocks on the window again, and he's like, yo, keep the window down. And he's like, don't knock on my window like that, right? Don't knock on my window like that. And they just go back and forth. He's like, keep the window down. Don't knock on my window like that. Keep the window down. Don't knock on my window like that. Now, to be fair, by now the window is just down. Like he's just... It's kind of like one of those things where you arguing with somebody, but they are doing the thing you asked them to do, but you still mad. So then you're like, and keep doing it. You just don't know what to say next. You're like, and stay doing it. And so then, he hands him his license and registration, and then he rolls the window back up. And like, look. Look. Rolling the window up on anybody. I've never seen a respectful rolling of the window up, right? Like when I've been out and I've been in situations and I roll the window up, it's very clear what I mean, right? I remember one time I was with my friend Mike in Chicago, and he was giving me a ride home from a show, and there was this one dude that was in the street, middle of the street, and we had a pretty clear, we were in Chicago, and so we're going down like that Argyle area and everything, and we have a pretty clear street because it's so late at night, right? And it's it's like maybe 2:30 in the morning because I had a late show and I stayed to talk with people and stuff like that. And Mike is giving me this ride back, and we've got the windows down and everything. But then we're at a red light, and we see a red light away. This guy who's been in the street, and we could tell from the distance, is just running in the street, no shirt on, everything. And then Mike just goes, let me roll up my window because this nigga is making me nervous. Rolling up the window is not both like a power move. Sometimes it's also a move of like, I really don't want to look at you right now. And so the cop knocks on the window again. He's like, hey, keep the window down. And then Tyreek is like, yo, just give me my ticket so I can go, right? And as an African-American audience member, I was like, oh. And so then cop tells him one more time, he's like, yo, keep the window down before I take you out of the car. Matter of fact, get out of the car, right? So he just immediately decides like, no, open the door before I break the window, open the door, right? And so then Tyreek is like, okay, damn, all right. And so he unlocks the door, and then they pull the door open, and they start pulling Tyreek out. He's like, okay, I'm getting down, damn, right? And now they're pushing him down and everything. And he's like, hey, careful. I just had surgery on my knee. And they're telling him. And then the guy, the same cop as before, is like, oh, that's convenient. You didn't have surgery on your knee in the car when you couldn't keep the window up. And I was like, that's not how knees work. And so they got Tyreek down flat on the ground. I can't remember if they handcuffed him or they zip tied him or they just had him with his hands right here. And you gotta keep in mind that this is all for like some speeding. Like if you're speeding and they catch you, they just arrest you because you're speeding that much, Like if you're going the speed of the temperature in Arizona, you're just... You're just going to jail. But all of this happens, speeding a little bit, right? And then, he's on the ground, hands down, everything. He's trying to call someone to let them know that he's gonna be late, which is courteous. And then, I don't know when in the sequence this happened, because then this is from a different angle, but I watched something that was fully put together, right? So I don't know if this one was on police body cam, but this was just like a part of the footage, and then, Tyreek said something along the lines of like, yeah, another black man trying to drive in America, right? And then the same cop as before says like, oh, I'm Cuban, don't play that shit with me, right? Which isn't quite, like I see where he was trying to get, but no. The 2 points kind of miss each other, right? And then, you know, there was another player who had stopped his car and got out just to see what was happening because he saw Tyreek's car, Tyreek on the ground and everything. And so then he's trying to call somebody, and Tyreek is telling him like, yo, call whoever. I don't know if it's like the GM or I don't know who he wants him to call, but he keeps saying the same name. So then that guy goes, okay. But then the cop sees that guy and goes, yo, you can't stop there. Get back in your car. You can't stop there. Get back in your car right now. He's like, okay, I'm getting back in my car. I was just trying to see what's happening. Don't worry about what's happening. Get back in your car right now. Drive off, right? And he's like, okay, and even as he's moving towards his car, the cop was like, you know what? You too. And then takes him. And it did get to the point where I was like, are they gonna arrest the city? Because I'm not gonna lie, when you drive by, you get curious. You're like, you know, maybe you're in your car and you drive by a little slow. You're like, is that Tyreek Hill? And the cop's like, you can get some too. Like, you know? But it just got me to thinking, like, wow, all of this. And our expectation, the fact that we expected it to be worse than it was, you know? Because I want to be clear about something. Tyreek Hill was, if you watch the tape, he was being an asshole because he thought he could get away with it, right? He thought he had enough money. He thought he had enough, like, access or proximity to maybe how his white friends move, you know? That he thought he could be an asshole and get away with it. And I want to be clear, the cops in that situation were also being assholes because they thought they could get away with it. But only one of those two parties was at work. Do you know what I mean? Everybody has a bad day. Everybody can't be perfect, and some people are assholes through and through, right? But being an asshole isn't illegal. One of those parties has a gun, has the ability to kill, has the power to move people where they want them to go, you know? And it's a terrifying thing because my thing is like, take race out of it for a second, right? The way that the police are allowed to move is what creates the expectation. It just happens to get to a certain place with black people more often than not. But it's the way that we're all police and the thing that we all allow as long as it's happening to somebody else that keeps the system intact. You know? And so I've watched the police do all manner of things in different videos to different people, right? But there's a certain place we let it get to in our minds where we just accept that, like, oh man, you disrespected a cop, you about to get your ass beat. Why is that? Do you know what I mean? Why is that? Because I'm not trying to make it as if race isn't an actual issue in it. It's like inextricably linked to it. But at the same time, trust me when I say anybody can get it. I've watched so many videos of people, kids, you know? And it's because of the way that we let police move and also what we ask police to do, right? There should just be a scanner. If you're speeding, we'll catch you. And I don't have to talk to the dude with the gun. That would be nice. That would be so much better to just, I was speeding, you got me, that's my bad, I was speeding, and now I don't get tapped on the window by a dude that I know is armed that's not having a great day. You know? Because I've even watched, like you wouldn't believe, you know, I've watched my white friends move around the police in a way that I could never imagine, right? But I've also watched them there's a weird leveling off that happens when it comes to policing, where sometimes white people get loud or get violent with the police, and the police go, I'm white too, so like, let's nix that now. You gotta get your ass beat today. You know? And I've also seen black police tuning up black kids, right? But it's also the expectation that we have of police and the way that we allow them to move that like leads to situations like this. You know what I mean? It's terrifying to be pulled over by the police, just in my view, as a black person. Not even because I'm like, man, this cop's definitely gonna be racist. It's more just what can happen and what they can get away with that's terrifying. And I know that we're not all feeling the same way, but in my opinion, we should all be terrified. Because everything's well and good until it happens to you. And trust me when I tell you it can happen to you. In college, I had a friend who was getting a little drunk, right? He was pretty drunk. And, you know, he got loud with a cop. And I was trying to, you know, dissuade him. But I was doing it from a distance, like a coach. You know what I mean? Like I was... You know, I was like, hey, I know you white, but you gonna get tased. I'm telling you. The way you moving right now is taser behavior, okay? That white skin can only protect you for so long. You about to get that ass beat, I'm telling you. I've seen too many videos of people doing what you do, and they never end well. And they didn't tase them, but let's just say I did eventually have to yell out, I'll see you back at the door. I don't want these problems.
Mira.